Hey everybody, we just launched a brand new Screw Attack t-shirt on the Rooster Teeth store. Just click the link in the description below if you want to pick one up, and it's a great way to support the channel.
Halloween is over. I don't know why I'm wearing this costume, but regardless, there's never a bad time to sit down and watch a scary monster movie. For whatever reason, we as humans just love scaring ourselves silly with the most demented, screwed up creatures we can possibly imagine. And these are the 10 that make us want to sleep with the lights on. So hey, I'm Nervous Nick for Screw Attack's Top 10 Horror Movie Monsters.
Number 10.
Pitch Black is equal parts science fiction and horror film. Don't believe me? Just look at some of the monsters that exist in this universe. Specifically, the BIORAPTORs. I mean, how did these things come about? Did a hammerhead shark have sex with a pterodactyl? If so, whose place was it at? Was it sky sex or ocean sex? Yeah, it doesn't matter. But just to make it all even more confusing, these nocturnal creatures live underground in order to avoid the heat of a planet with 3 suns. Kind of a bad place to live for anything that hates the light. Just saying. But every couple of decades, an eclipse comes along, which means it's dinner time. BIORAPTORs are super fast and strong, plus they can fly. The only things scarier than the grown-up BIORAPTORs are the kids, since they can fly around in massive hordes of tiny flesh-eating monsters. Also, they hunt with ultrasonic radar, so don't think you're gonna be hiding from them very easily. Someone please shine my eyes so I can see these things coming.
Number 9.
Ah yes, there's just something so delightful about the holidays. Families coming together, giving gifts, sharing meals, and celebrating the spirit of the season. Oh, and also child murder and kidnapping. Meet Krampus. He's a goat man sort of a guy thing. While Santa's dropping off presents to all the nice girls and boys, Krampus doles out justice to those on the naughty list. Recently, this shadow of Santa has gotten his fair share of movies. He's usually depicted as a massive demon-like beast, just without the fire, cause, you know, nothing says Christmas like snow. He also has a whole crew of demonic Christmas creatures like deadly gingerbread men and terrifying teddy bears. That is the beauty of Krampus. While we've only seen him a handful of times, every year is another opportunity for him to ruin somebody's Christmas. He's the horror movie monster that just keeps on giving.
Number 8.
One of the absolute best things about being a land-dwelling species is that we humans never have to share the same space as a shark. That is, until this thing comes to get you. Oh, laugh while you still can, dear viewers, because when Sharktopus is hungry, ain't nobody hiding from that. Are you in your house? Sharktopus can walk there. Trying to swim in the water? So is Sharktopus. You have no sustainable options for survival against this monster. Because like his awesome theme song says, Sharktopus will not be kept at bay.
Number 7.
While he's been everything from a megalomaniac bent on world domination to judge and executioner for the entire human race, Pinhead has to be one of the most recognizable horror movie monsters ever. Who else could make sadomasochism look so good? Or bad, depending on how you look, whatever. Basically, Pinhead is a demon from the HELLRAISER films, but more specifically, he's a Cenobite, an extra-dimensional being who's really into body mutilation. Not only for themselves, but also their victims. Most of Pinhead's stories revolve around this mysterious puzzle box that, when solved, creates a portal between our universe and the Cenobites. And when that thing opens, you'd better believe that Pinhead and pals are on their way to commit some good old-fashioned murder, which usually includes bondage of chains and flesh. There's pretty much no getting out of it. If you solve that puzzle, you are in for a swift and gruesome death, because Hellraiser's head Cenobite has no time for games.
Number 6.
There is so much going for the Babadook right now. He's got himself a hit horror movie, internet memes, and has even been shipped with Pennywise? I'll be real, nothing surprises me anymore, internet. Not since I saw that artwork of a rat-a-tat with a shotgun penis, but I digress. The Babadook's name is an anagram for a bad book, which is fitting because he comes out of an actual book. Why on earth this woman is reading her son a nightmarish pop-up book before bed is beyond me. But regardless, this thing is less of a murderer and more of a terrify you to the brink of insanity kind of guy. And just look at that face! He's got this whole smiling Slender Man in a top hat thing going on. But the really scary part of this Babadook is the way his eyes cut into your soul. Looking into those dead eyes and that cold smile kinda kinda makes me wonder if we have a little Babadook inside all of us.
Number 5.
When you think of today's movie monsters, the dream demon Freddy Krueger is probably one of the very first that comes to mind. I mean, this guy is so evil that he can dress like Ernie wearing a fedora and still terrify people. It probably helps that he also looks like he just took a peek at the Ark of the Covenant and has these knife fingers, but hey, still. The really terrifying thing about Freddy is that he kills you while you're sleeping. I don't care how much Red Bull you have, eventually you're gonna have to sleep. And that is when Freddy throws your sleeping body around the room like a rag doll or drowns you in your own waterbed. The only thing that holds Freddy back is that all of his power lies in the dream world. Pull him into our world and he bleeds like the rest of us. But even so, Mr. Krueger made a whole generation scared of something we need to do to survive. You gotta admit, that's impressive.
Number 4.
What could possibly be worse than the sheer terror of death at the gloved hands of a clown? From Stephen King's It, Pennywise is arguably the most terrifying of all clowns. This monster feeds on the fear of children once a generation. Every 27 years, you'll just see a clown hanging out in a storm drain or a red balloon in the corner of your eye, but the truly terrifying thing about Pennywise is that the clown getup is only an illusion meant to attract as many kids as possible. The creature itself can shapeshift into anything we can imagine. So of course, that's going to be the exact thing you fear the most. Anything from a creepy painting to the living dead. Any monster that preys on children is a special kind of evil. But the way Pennywise plays with his food before he eats it makes him one of the very worst sorts of monsters. Frickin' clowns, man! Frickin' clowns.
Number 3.
A long time ago, from a galaxy far, far away, something crash landed on Earth in frozen Antarctica. Flash forward to 1982 and Snake RJ McCready and crew came into contact with the Thing. Listen, maybe clowns and acupuncture don't quite give you the willies, but look at this deformed ball of flesh and tentacles and tell me, to my face, that this isn't one of the worst things you've ever seen. The Thing imitates life around it, from dogs to humans, and then eventually howling, bursting monsters. Just seeing that makes me want to throw up in my mouth a little. Worse yet, you can never truly know if it's there or not because of its shape-shifting powers. Your best bet is to get your hands on all the firepower you can and just survive until the bitter end. Just like Keith David. Although, even he may actually be the Thing in disguise.
Number 2.
The psychotic machete-wielding mama's boy Jason Voorhees has become the face, or I guess mask, of horror movie monsters. Jason is a nearly unstoppable force of death. I mean, he's been dismembered, blown up by a rocket launcher, incinerated during planetary re-entry, and dragged to hell, just to name a few quote-unquote deaths. Yet he always comes back to kill anyone dumb enough to go within a mile of Crystal Lake. Or I guess just anywhere that suits him. I don't know, he's not specific. He's motivated by a creepy childlike desire to appease his dead mother, and over time he's racked up a body count that would make any psychotic mom proud. Once you see his imposing figure looming over you, prepare to meet your maker. Especially if you're doing drugs or having premarital sex. Jason doesn't like premarital sex. He's killed over 100 victims and can never truly die because he can transfer bodies thanks to his soul being this creepy looking worm thing that he infects a host with. That is a ridiculously unsettling thought. Speaking of which...
It's number 1.
There are plenty of spooky monsters from other worlds, but it's no doubt that the xenomorph from Alien is the pinnacle of extraterrestrial fear. Everything about these things is terrifying. I mean, just look at it. Have you ever seen something so disturbing in your life? It's a sleek, hot dog-headed monster that impregnates you even if you don't have a uterus. Xenomorphs are created after a flying vagina with claws grabs your face and shoots an alien baby down your throat. And then you wake up confused only to have a penis monster bust out of your chest, which leaves you alive just long enough to know exactly how you went out. Hashtag explain the film plot poorly. But after that, it grows up at an alarming rate and turns into the stuff of nightmares. It's got a spear-like tail, razor blade claws, and if one mouthful of sharp teeth dripping slime wasn't enough, the Xenomorph will throw in a second absolutely free! If you had to be locked in a room with any monster on this list, well, first of all, sorry for your misfortune, but my last choice would be the Xenomorph. Most horror monsters are glad to end you at their earliest convenience, but these H.R. Giger nightmares could always decide to make you its baby mama instead. And even if you somehow wind up killing the Xenomorph, it bleeds freaking acid! No, thank you. For our secret number 11, if you ever find yourself in a mysterious facility beneath a cabin in the woods with this unicorn tapestry, whatever you do, do not touch it. Oddly specific circumstances, I know, but trust me, you just might save yourself or a loved one from being stabbed by an actual unicorn. Hey, better safe than sorry, right?